We traded stocks since 2005, so thereabout. Then 3 years after 2008 or so, I stumbled on Forex trading on CFD. Forex now seems like stocks on steroids, but then it wasn't like it is now. If you even need to fund your account, you need to change to hard currency itself, and then go fund your domiciliary account, send it somewhere offshore. It takes like 4 days, 5 days, and then you get credited. And the way I approach trading, maybe because of my background as a stock trader, I'm a lot more fundamental than the average trader. So most times you may not successfully copy someone else's strategy because it comes from who you are. Exness is one firm that takes ethics to another level. There's one mantra that we have, very simple statement: your money is your money. The same speed that you process a $100 withdrawal is the same speed you process a $1 million withdrawal.
What's going on, guys? It's Sam Keys here again, and this is another episode on the 1% Club podcast with Sam Keys. And on this episode, we have with us Exness Commercial Director. And it goes by the person, Mr. Olusanmi Joseph. So today on the podcast, you guys are going to be learning a whole lot. I have known this man for about 2 years, right, since 2023. And it's been a whole lot, guys, working with Exness as a partner and also seeing him working as a staff on the Exness organization. Exness, like you guys know, is a brokerage firm. We're going to learn a lot from the back end, how these systems are being built to favor the partners, to favor the staff, and to also favor the traders, because Exness is number one when it comes to brokerage firms right now. So if you're new to the channel and you want to learn more from our podcast series, hit the like button and also comment below where you're watching this video from. And don't forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe and ensure that your friends also do the same thing. I'll be going through the comments and one of you guys is going to be winning $100 on this particular podcast. So for you to get that, make sure you comment your name and where you're watching from, and also your best takeaway on this particular episode. With all that said, let's get started. Tell us about you. Who is Mr. Olusanmi? Let's just get a little about your background.
I'll say I'm from Lagos, but if I look back to my origin, then I would trace it back to Ekiti.
But you're fully based in Lagos?
Yeah, all my life.
All your life? Oh, that is great. So let's fast forward. When was the first time you got exposed to Forex trading or anything that has to do with trading? What particular year was that?
That would be 2000 and maybe 7, 8, thereabout.
Oh, 2007 or 8.
It's thereabouts, yeah.
Well, I believe then you started off as a trader or something.
Yeah, I started as a trader. I trade in the stock market a lot. Okay, I traded stocks since 2005, so thereabout. Then 3 years after 2008 or so, I stumbled on Forex trading on CFD. And I started learning. It was really new then in Nigeria. You really didn't have a local firm entities. I was used to stocks trading, especially local stocks. But then Forex now seems like stocks on steroids. The movement, the volatility, the returns, leverage, the margin, and all that. But then it wasn't like it is now. We've come a long way in this industry. Back then, if you even need to fund your account, you need to change to hard currency itself, and then go fund your domiciliary account, send it somewhere offshore. It takes like 4 days, 5 days, and then you get credited. But now we've come a long way. You had a lot of local funds coming in, and then you could fund your accounts, instant deposits, withdrawals, those kind of things. So it's been a very good journey. Then after some time, I transitioned to become partners with some of those brokerage firms. Fast forward to 2014, that was the first time I would now really work for a broker. I've been at the front end, so trading in partners. But then the first time I would really become, let me say in quote, the back end, like work with a blogger. And that was 2000. And that was about 11 years ago.
Oh, 11 years ago. That's 2014.
Yeah, I started with Exness over very close to 4 years now.
Okay. All right. Before we come to the back end, tell us about your trading journey, starting off with stocks in 2005 and also getting into Forex in 2008 before you started working with the back end. Let's learn about how that was. This present generation, a lot of people see lifestyle and all these things and makes it very easy. Like you believe so much in trading already. But I believe that period, it wasn't like this. So how were you holding up? Were you really successful trader? Or just tell us a little about it.
Maybe I started really awful. But then I started well. Let me put it that way. The first set of trades, I didn't really demonstrate for so long. I got in, and I think the first set of trades I did was successful. So, okay, as a novice trader, it's not really always a blessing when your first set of trades, when you've not really figured out anything, ends up in profits. Sometimes it ends up as a negative for you because you feel, oh, I really know what I'm doing. Okay, so I got my first set of trades right. Call it luck, call it mate or whatever. I made some withdrawals. Back then, there was no local friend, like I said. So I made a withdrawal request, and I got some money sent down. I drew from my depository account, and then I saw physical dollar. I said, wow, so yeah, I'm making USD right here. I got excited. Wow. I felt, I really have come along here. But then I had no strategy correct. It was more like just stumbled on that, win. Then it became rough after that. Wow. So went through a very rough phase, but it took a couple of maybe years, 1 or 2 years. I had to figure out, but what am I doing wrong? It really was a struggle, not zero. I realized money management, risk management, really getting to understand what strategy you would be trading with, because you have a lot of people approaching the market as gamblers, getting lucky once or twice, and they're feeling the market is, you could just put in something and get, but then I had to understand properly. It doesn't really work like that. You need to establish what's the market, how you can actually strategize and make money. So I would say my first profit, because my initial trades were profitable, but then it wasn't a blessing.
Okay, it was luck, right?
It gave me false
impression about the market, and later it took a lot from you.
Yeah, then it took it back.
All right, understand. So how did you finally learn how to trade Forex? Did you go through an academy then, or that period? How did you get resources to know? But how did you even hear about trading?
I heard about it back then, and I was working with a local firm, stockbroking firm, and through one of my colleagues in the firm, he started trading, and then he was introducing me to that. I totally was self-taught. Very scarce trading academies, you don't have at that time. What I knew existed a lot back then was people selling robots. That's what they used to call it. It's more. I studied myself on trade, how to trade. And the way I approach trading, maybe because of my background as a stock trader, I'm a lot more fundamental than the average trader. Because when you trade stocks, shares and all that, you have this fundamental perspective about trading. So coming into CFD trading had a lot of fundamentals in my perspective. Like if something is happening, interest rate decisions, central bank, all those kind of things I really get to monitor. I hardly enter trades if I don't have a fundamental, like something fundamental driving me to feel this is where the direction is. So that gives me direction. Then my entry and exit is not determined by technicals.
That's great. That's quite some perspective, guys. Most of us who just come in and think it's just technicals, and people have little knowledge about fundamentals. And when they put technical analysis, fundamental shows up and break their technical analysis and be like, what's going on? That's very insightful. Now, let's go to you working on the back end. Tell us about your journey, because I know Exness is not the first brokerage firm you worked with. How did you transition from being a trader and a partner into working with a broker, and how did you get into Exness?
My first job with a brokerage firm was 2014. I worked with about 5 firms. I won't really mention names now, but then I worked with a firm, one of the very early firms to get into Nigeria back then, 2014. I know over the years I've experienced the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay, seen a lot of things, and really you have a lot of firms that don't have proper frameworks around them. And then I realized not all brokers have clients' interests. It's when you try to approach it from the back end, you understand what drives, and how would you know, no matter what any broker would say. For staff, for example, there are brokers that would set KPIs that would mean if your clients get to make so much money, you would be affected in commissions or sales and all this thing. But then I got to the Exness 4 years ago, and I was blown away. I started trading with Exness. That's one very good point. I started working with Exness. Okay, so I'd known Exness as a very proper, let's go with broker provider before I started working with Exness. At the point when Exness called, I was with another broker. I was managing operations for them as well in the region. And then I was called, but I wasn't told what the brokerage firm was. At that point, I'd had it. I said, no, it was because the last brokerage firm I worked with, I realized that some anomalies. I'm not okay. So I said, no, I wasn't interested. Then the HR guy now said, oh, his firm is Exness. Then immediately I got interested because I knew this brokerage from now.
Yes, you have traded with them.
I traded with them and I know what they stand for. So I said, oh, I'm interested with this. I said earlier that I'll be about 4 years in Exness. I've never worked more than a year and a few months with any other brokerage firm. But it's the first time, not just in any brokerage firm, but in any firm I've worked with. Okay. And I've worked with several firms for like about 20 years. Okay. I'm here spending this long, a year and all that, more because Exness is one firm that takes ethics to another level. Okay. There's a difference between being regulated and really taking ethics to the highest level. Even those things that regulation would not really mandate us to do, we ensure that we get to do it in the interest of our clients and the interest of partners, ensuring that you have your client interest at heart, you ensure that you put in the best training environment. Every day I wake up, every day I want to go to work, I'm motivated and I'm excited because it's the kind of environment I would like to.
Wow. That is a lot, guys. From the back end, let's go plainly. What makes Exness stand out from every other broker out there? Because I believe you have experience with others.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. We create the best training environment, but there's no time to really go into every detail. Okay, and I'll say there's one mantra that we have from the CEO to the very least person. Very simple statement. Your money is your money. As simple and as common sense as it sounds, like your money is your money. Yeah, my money should be my money. It's so important because in this environment, many brokerage firms, you would assume that your money is your money, but then it's not. Because once your money comes in, it's a problem sometimes getting it out. For Exness, the same speed that you process $100 withdrawal is the same speed you process a $1 million withdrawal. No difference. It's the same. It's difficult to rival that. Many brokerage firms try to copy what Exness is doing, but then they don't realize that it's not about what we do, it's about who we are. It's very difficult to replicate it. Sometimes they try to do it here and there, do stuff they try to copy, but then they can't, it's difficult because it's entrenched in the core values of Exness to be ethical and to be straightforward. And even for me personally, it's a big lesson because it shows if you do it right, if you don't cut corners, if you don't do things that would. But sometimes we actually, in a B2B ethical, sometimes we actually lose money in the process. Right. And I give an example. Sometimes we get to see that, okay, there is this glitch in our system or whatever happens. And then we compensate. Even when clients don't complain, it's who we are.
Yeah. Exness. That's great. From a trader's perspective, what makes Exness stand out amongst other brokers?
Oh, from a trader's perspective, yeah, there's a lot of things. Like one, the trading conditions, better than market trading conditions. One of our core values is innovation. The market conditions that you trade in Exness is difficult to rival. As a trader, you would get the best of spreads with Exness than you would with any other broker. When you trade with Exness, you don't need to worry about your strategy. Just worry about making money. Don't worry about how straightforward the broker is. If you get your money, the rest assured is, we are regulated everywhere with that on one side. But on the other side, Exness is audited by Deloitte, which we are the first firm that's submitted ourselves for that kind of audit. Every system is automated. We actually do not like to put in human intervention in certain things. Like, for example, you want to deposit or withdraw, and then someone needs to approve, or, we like everything automated. All the process is automated. We're a tech-driven company. So tech is like at the core of our operations. We like to call ourselves, everyone working in Exness, either in a tech department or not, we call ourselves tech professionals because the company is built on that curve. So we are very techy and we are by far the largest broker in terms of trading volume.
Wow, that's massive, guys. You guys have learned a lot. Now, let me know in the comments what your best takeaway is from here. What qualifications would somebody need to have to start working with a broker? Because you're not just a trader and the next thing you're working with a broker.
It's not like a straight one because there are several, like for us, we have several departments. It's more like an established firm saying, okay, there's HR, there's IT, all kinds of, then there's the support, customer service, sales. So in that respect, if you're into customer service, for example, open support, so no CRM. There are so many angles there, but then, like I started as a salesperson, I was serious. When you talk about working in sales, really not so much in terms of qualifications, although, of course, the basic things mostly graduates, okay, but then it's more about experience in the financial market, that kind of thing. So not so much about book qualification.
Okay. What is your best advice? We have a lot of beginners watching this video right now on YouTube, And some people who have been trading and blowing off their accounts and they think their broker is fighting against them, especially those of you trading with Exness. Right. So what is the advice that you have for anyone out there who wants to start their trading journey or who is trading but want to become a successful trader?
Yeah, like a lot of people that come in to trade, many come with different perspectives. Some woman, because someone has told them, you could just put in 100, let's flip it. See, there's this big news coming, and they have this signal that maybe it's sure to maybe go bullish. I'd say risk management is key. Like you have someone coming in, for example, you're targeting a particular news or maybe whatever, and then you want to flip that account. You already know that for that kind of trader, you're trading with that notion that, oh, I want to make these big returns. But if you want to be consistent, like trade, make money consistently, you need to develop a strategy, right? And most times you may not successfully copy someone else's strategy because it comes from who you are. Yes, there are people that their strategy works best in the ranging markets, for example. So when the market is just going there, hitting support and resistance like that, the strategy is working. At the moment there's a breakout, the strategy is all over the place. So if you understand this strategy works best in the ranging markets, and then there's a breakout, you'll need to understand that, this market, this has changed. If you can't, your strategy will fall apart. If it works best on a breakout kind of strategy, you need to understand, okay, now it's time. There's a breakout, there's this formation that shows that. And then for me, like I said earlier, fundamentals is key. So if I'm trading gold, for example, I know it's seldom. So if Trump calls off the war and then there's peace all over the world and then gold is at the highest point, then I'm preparing for a sell. And then I'm just watching the chart to know when to enter, because you could actually be on the right direction, but you may enter at the wrong currency, so then you are stopped out. And you are most rational before you enter the trade. Okay. The moment you enter that trade, your rationality reduces because you start seeing what you want to see. Start saying, okay, yes, it will turn at this point. But before you get to enter that trade, you must analyze. That's when you are most rational. But the moment you have that buy trade, in your mind, you are just saying that, oh, it will soon go up, it will soon go until everything goes apart. So it's important that we understand what strategy works for us and then practice on it, so that if that strategy, you try to develop it, even if you fail once or twice, you are learning, you are going. But there's nothing like that, then you're just gambling, putting in there, and then there's a loss. You'll be blind nothing. Okay, and it's just a loss. So in every venture, sometimes you may get it wrong. But start small. Play those small school fees. Right, make mistakes and get your strategy perfected. So it's important that you know what strategy you're working with. You can make you made mistakes, not right. You will, but then you need to know why that went wrong. Maybe your strategy was working well, then there was a breakout, then you made some losses. But you need to understand, okay, that's it. And then you learn from that. You know how to manage that risk next time.
Wow. Guys, what you've already said is even so much more than I was even expecting. Like, a lot has to do with the risk management and having a strategy. The strategy is personalized. Everybody has a unique approach towards this same market that we're trading in. So you can't even use somebody else's strategy effectively as that person. So you have to figure out what works for you and then you stick to it until it gives you the best result that you're looking for. That's a lot, guys. It's been quite an expository session here on the podcast with Mr. Olusanmi Joseph. Really, guys, this is the first time we're having somebody working on the back end of the brokerage firm. So if you have questions for him, put it on the comments. I'm going to attend to it. And also in the description of this video, I'm going to put a link for you to connect with Mr. Joseph. And also, if you want to sign up with Exness, use my Exness link to sign up and you get an opportunity to join our Forex Club where you get free signals and educational resources. And also click the link to join our trading community so that you see how to connect with us in the Forex Club. I want to say a big thank you to you, sir. Thank you so much. It's really been nice having you here, sir. So guys, till I see you another time, don't forget to comment where you watch this video from. Guys, I'm going to be checking and I'm going to give you $100. I will just collect it from my Exness rebase, and then I'll give it to you guys. Bye for now. Remember, I'm Sam Keys and I'm always here to help.